Right from the very beginning, we wanted to create an inclusive place, open to the great diversity of the community. And this is a very exciting proposition, I think, because what it really says is everyone in the community has a place here. No matter what they're looking for, no matter where they're from, this is a place for everybody. In looking at a project like this, we really begin by trying to deeply understand the sense of place.
It was very important from the onset that we worked closely as a design team with the stakeholder groups and client groups and community groups to really get an understanding of what they would like in the building.
A space is only going to work and be successful if you start at the human scale. So you look at the people who live there and the people who are going to use the space, and you start with that in mind. And that's what we want to do with Bunjil Place. The themes that we started with and the inspirations had to be unique to Narre. And one of our very first inspirations was a painting by the local Indigenous artist, Kathy Adams. And it's the meeting of many paths.
It was in looking at that beautiful artwork and actually looking at the site itself that we were really inspired to create a very special kind of public building. We were inspired at the very beginning of this project by the story of Bunjil, the eagle.
We went to the Melbourne Museum and there was an exhibition on Bunjil at the time. So we spent some time discussing the project with representatives from the Kulin people, and we did a lot of research on what Bunjil means to the community itself.
It was these two concepts really, one which we really transformed into the roof forms of the building as the sort of broad open wings of the eagle, and the other of the gathering of many pathways was the kind of ground plane that really brought everyone into this wonderful place. So it's an incredible process making a building like this, and a wonderful intersection of design and technology and industry.
A project of this scale and complexity is challenging, and it's an elegant roof form and it's quite a complex shape, but once the skin is on the roof you don't necessarily see all the structure behind it, but it was quite an interesting part of the building.
There are many innovations in the design that have been a real challenge to implement, perhaps none more so than the timber grid shell structure.
It's really a very elegant piece, and it's really there to show the sustainable credentials up front when you're in the building.
To double curve those laminated timber beams, to actually form that beautiful shape, and to do all of that in a beautiful natural material that catches the light is really at the cutting edge of what is possible.
It's very important that the interior design is cohesive with the architecture. To complement the presence of the grid shells and the flowing ribbons in the foyer, we have custom designed seats that are placed around the grid shell bases. We wanted to choose furniture that enhances the overall design vision. The theatre is a beautiful space. It is dark and dramatic, but also, of course, very inviting. In the library, you have the children's area where we have created bespoke furniture. For the colour palette, we actually used the Casey Indigenous Plant Guide as an inspiration.
There was a real design drive to make sure that the building actually moved in its form to embrace the outdoor external space. And I guess one of the biggest and most present outdoor space is the external plaza. It's got a very direct and permeable connection to Bunjil Place, the building. It's really a large space community event location, so whether it's a concert or carols by candlelight, maybe it's everyone getting together to watch the AFL. It's about everyone together in a large event space. And in fact, I can't wait to see the community using it.
We're right at that moment with the completion of Bunjil Place when we hand it over to the community. And what I really hope is that it's embraced by the community, that they really feel they own it, and most of all that it perhaps reflects their values and their identity in some way.